Once more, welcome to Podcast Now PS Edition. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to discuss the Spyro PS5 rumors that have recently came out, I believe as early as yesterday or even the day before these started making its way on the internet. So I'm going to be going over what we've learned about it, and I'm going to be giving my analysis of it. Okay, so firstly, according to the leak, the new game hasn't got a firm title yet, but will be released in the second quarter of 2021 and is set to be revealed alongside Sony's next generation console. It's supposedly in development at Toys for Bob and will be published by Activision. The fire-breathing fellow will apparently be older this time around, and the game will feature some RPG elements, including upgrading your flame reach, glide length, and charging speed. You can also reportedly unlock new abilities such as ice, lightning, and poison for your fire breath attacks too. The new Spyro will apparently feature a noticeable spike in difficulty, and the game is set to adhere to the core fundamentals of the franchise. New companions will be introduced, and some old friends will not make a return. Finally, there's apparently no DLC planned for the new Spyro the Dragon game, but gamers can expect a silky smooth 4K resolution and 60 frames per second. So that's kind of just thrown in stuff that's not really even talked about. So kind of big deal. The article then goes on to say, does a little analysis of its own and talks about how the first Spyro, the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and I've always said this. I said this with Spyro. I said this with Crash. They're franchises that are all tests, that these trilogies or these collections of these games, these remakes, are tests to see from Activision to see if people still like these games, and then we would get a new game from that. Crash, you're already starting to see that. We obviously have the Insane trilogy, then that went into Crash Team Racing, and then the rumors of, yes, Crash Bandicoot Worlds isn't confirmed to be real, but there is a lot of speculation that there will be a brand new Crash game that will also actually release in 2021. So I wouldn't be surprised if 2020, 2021 is the age, finally, and it really makes a lot of sense that it coincides with the next generation of consoles, right? We get to a new age. We had just gotten out of this current gen. People have obviously shown that they still care about Spyro. Spyro sold amazingly well. Crash sold amazingly well. People still care about those two franchises, and now, not only do we get those remakes, but now Activision can safely say, okay, these games are loved, let's go forward and let's make a brand new game for the old-time audience as well as newer audiences as well. I think that 100% lines up with everything we've seen so far. So 2021 makes a ton of sense, in my opinion. I think it would be the right time to bring Spyro back, and the game sounds actually kind of cool. You know, I'll be flat out honest with you. I'm not the biggest Spyro fan. I actually did buy the Reignited trilogy. I did play Spyro back in the day. It was one of the games that I played as a child, but I never really gravitated to it. I was more into Crash. I was more into Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper was the big one for me. I was totally into that. But, you know, Spyro, I did enjoy. And the remaster, or the remake in general, phenomenal. I mean, it looked so beautiful. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that's talked about here in these leaks make me excited and actually make me more inclined to get it. The fact that, like, it's going to have a significant difficulty spike, that's really good because, you know, to be flat out honest with you, Spyro, compared to Crash, and just based, not because they're similar, but because based off the fact that they came out, you know, 1 year after the next and actually another year. So 2017, 2018, and 2019 had these remakes happen. So it kind of got sandwiched in between Crash games. The Crash Insane trilogy is an insanely, hence the word, difficult game. very hard. Obviously, some of the things they did give reasons, like actually engineering or programming reasons why. But when I played Spyro, it's very much designed for a kid. I think it was designed for a kid back then, and even playing the game now, the remake now, the game is very, compared to at least compared to Crash, very easy. So having a difficulty spike, and again, because yeah, you are going to be, you know, you want the people that played it back in the day to buy it, and those people are not going to be very happy with a game that a 6 or 7 year old could breeze through in terms of gameplay difficulty, right? So you need those people. You also do obviously want brand new people that you can attract a new audience. But I think that difficulty scale has to go up. The RPG elements, the whole leveling up thing, sounds modernizing. Like, it sounds like that. And when you think about his kind of abilities too, unlike Crash, which does kind of make it unique and different, and I do like that aspect. you can kind of see it. Like if I told you that that's where the game was going to go back in the day, I think you would have been able to follow me along, right? Because it kind of is the fact that you can level up some things and do his different abilities does make a lot of sense. So I'm excited. I think this is big news for the first. Obviously, firstly, I think this is really big news. Depending on when we see it is a big question too. It says the second quarter of 2021, so that's around. They could be aiming for like Crash time, which is like June. So somewhere in that late spring, early summer period for Spyro, I would imagine is going to happen. And if that's the case, yeah, it does kind of line up that if Sony does unveil their console, I have been saying this, especially on podcasts now, they have to announce quite a few games. Now, it wouldn't be exclusive. It doesn't seem like this is exclusive at all. In fact, it's just not. The Crash game or Crash Team Racing came out on all consoles. Spyro did as well. So, like, it's going to be on, it even says Xbox Series X, maybe even the Nintendo Switch on day one. But considering the link that Sony has had with Spyro for so long, just like it's had for Crash, that's just something that kind of naturally Sony will handle, and they'll be the ones to kind of market it and kind of push it. And if it were to be announced at a big event, I could see that as, it's not like the biggest thing. I don't want that being like one of the pillars of the PS5 reveal event is like, hey, new Spyro, because yeah, it is a new Spyro, and that is really, really cool. And it's the first time, if that happens and they announce that before a new Crash, that'll also be very, very weird. I think they'll actually make Crash look bad. But that'll be very, very big in its own right for Spyro. At the same time, like, okay, it's not even an exclusive, and it's Spyro. Can we get, I think we should get bigger things along with it, but as, like, an additional thing that we get announced at the PS5 event, sounds like an awesome, awesome idea. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this Spyro game? Do you believe it? Do you think this game is coming out basically in the middle of 2021? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed and have that bell icon hit, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on Monday's video.